This is the RC Jet Jog. Oh, I just broke it. So here's what we started with 10 months ago. Yeah, I know y'all see me fly it already, but it was always in the books to go ahead and repaint. We had already stripped the stickers off. Didn't film it. Sorry, guys. But here we are disassembling the airplane, getting it ready for putty.
So I don't think Daddy's screwed that with really well because there's still no screws. That's what I have. That's how.
She lies.
While Chicken Girl is disassembling the airplane in preparation for putty, this is a good time to mention, guys, get your kids involved. As you can see, she really enjoys tinkering with these airplanes as much as I do. Not only will it build bonds between you and your kids, it'll also get young people back into our hobby. And without them, we can't continue to grow. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of cool projects like this one coming up. Now that the airplane is disassembled, we will be using DAP Fast and Final lightweight spackle to fill in all of those imperfections. And let me tell you, there were a lot of imperfections after that hard of a crash. I think we ended up using like 10 pounds of this stuff. Watch as we apply it. Okay, that was kind of gross. Anyway, as we finish up, you'll see all of a sudden all of our progress halted because, well, we moved right in the middle of this project. Hey guys, I know it's been a long pause, but we are back to work on our F-104. We've been in temporary housing for a while, just not enough room to do these projects, but now that our home has some AC and climate control, we're going to get back to work on this project as promised. All right, guys, here we go. You know, the funny things us modelers do when we don't have room to put batteries for a long time storage is we put tools in here, and I've been missing this particular tool for a really long time. It's one of my favorites. That was kind of silly, but anyway, back to it. If you remember earlier, I said that we used about 10 pounds of this lightweight spackle. Yeah, so that meant the sanding took a really long time. Watch the sunrise in the back window, and you can have a good idea how long it took me just to sand the fuselage. We used 220 grit sandpaper on the entire airplane. It had just enough teeth to smooth out the DAP Fast and Final in a couple of passes. But it also left a smooth enough finish that any imperfections from sanding could have been covered up with our primer plus filler. We're finally ready to get back and get started on our redo of our F-104. I just want to thank you guys for sticking through with the channel as long as y'all have. But we are ready to rock and roll back to normal. We're going to start off by taping up the cockpit, and then we're going to put primer on this plane. Now we're going to use a different primer than we normally used in the past. Let me get it here. We're going to be using this Rust-Oleum Automotive Primer. It has, it's apparently a primer filler, so we'll see how it does with all of those little spaces in between the foam beads and stuff. So we're going to go outside. Wind's finally calmed down. I've been wanting to do this for the last week, and we're going to get this started. Let's go. Guys, I want to start off by saying, please don't be dumb like me. Always wear protection while you're using spray paint. That way, you don't kill as many brain cells as I have. You don't want to end up weird like me. One thing that I notice is when you put that much lightweight spackle on the airplane, it sure consumes the primer. Usually primer takes about 1 coat, but as you'll see here, it didn't. It took 2 coats. We mentioned earlier that this was the first time that we used this particular primer, and you know what? It worked really, really well. A lot of those sanding imperfections and other imperfections in the fuselage that were caused from the previous crash that we didn't get out with the lightweight spackle really smoothed out nicely. We did not use polyacrylic below the primer coat because the airplane was mostly protected by paint and a lot of lightweight spackle. We do a single coat of polyacrylic over the primer so we can see any imperfections before we put that first layer of paint on. It'll also help fill in any gaps that were left over from our primer plus filler. Now it's time to cut our decals. We will be using a Silhouette Cameo vinyl cutter. If you are interested in learning how to make decals for your airplane, please hit that subscribe button and notifications because we will be making an episode really soon teaching you how to do that. As you probably noticed by now, both of these sheens are flat, and there's several reasons that we use flat paint. We use flat paint because, well, it's less stinky, it's less temperamental, and it dries a whole lot quicker. Most importantly, it doesn't seem to want to peel whenever you make adjustments with your vinyl decals or pulling that painter's tape off. It took us 2 coats of red and 3 coats of the white to get the coverage that we really wanted on this airplane. Now, if you remember on episode 29 on our maiden, the nose gear wasn't going up and down. Apparently, the gears were stripped after that hard crash. So here we are replacing the nose gear unit. Alright, it's time to start applying painter's tape so we can get that red triangle on the wings. Even though I'm using flat paint, as you can see, I'm taking the proper precautions to make the painter's tape less sticky, so there's less of a chance of pulling any paint. Now we're covering the surfaces that we want to remain white. As you can see, we used a grocery bag to cover the irregular surfaces. And we're also applying the tape to the tape that's already on the airplane, so no new surfaces have risk of peeling, just in case. We did not video this process, but we carefully taped off all of the window sections so the cockpit bracing could be painted red, just like the real airplane. Now it's time to witness the magic of flat paint at work. As you can see, the painter's tape is coming off with no peeling at all. And wow, look at those crisp straight lines. Next up, we will be painting by hand all of the black sections on the fuselage. And yes, you guessed it, once again, we're using flat black paint. We will be using brushes of various sizes for 2 reasons: good cover and cutting in lines by hand. Here we are cutting the striping for the wings and the strakes underneath the tail. Once again, the flat paint is really working for us whenever we need to make those minor adjustments, like when things aren't exactly straight. Also, don't forget to cut around your control surfaces. They don't move so well when you have vinyl still stuck to them. Now it's time to start putting those decals on that y'all saw me cutting with the Silhouette Cameo. As you can see, I was having a difficult time getting the decals to come off the transfer tape, but as annoying as it may be, it sure beat peeling that beautiful coat of paint off. Even more tricky than putting the decals on the nose and getting off the transfer tape, we had to maneuver around these servo arms in the tail to get our horse on there. Now watch as we just zip on through the other side. And now for my favorite part, we bust out the polyacrylic and start putting those gloss coats on that airplane. People often ask why I brush on my polyacrylic. It comes down to simple economics. The brush-on type is way cheaper than buying a whole bunch of cans of polyacrylic. But be cautioned, it's a little bit more temperamental and drips are real sneaky. We almost forgot to hand paint the afterburner. We used Testor's aluminum. After 4 coats of polyacrylic on the top and the bottom, we finally obtained the sheen that we desired. Now you see the final assembly of our F-104. Man, she looks good. On a side note, just to let y'all know, it's much easier to repaint these airplanes completely taken apart. Now it's time for the reveal. And there you have it, folks. Our plane is painted in the colors of the last flying F-104 in the Italian Air Force. We really hope that this video was informative and will help you on your next painting projects. We love to see your custom projects. Please post on our Facebook page. We will leave that in the description section. And lastly, don't forget to get your kids involved, involve new people in our hobby, and please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.